Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, gripped by terror at the thought of your child being abducted by a stranger? Probably the most common phrase parents tell their kids is, "Never talk to strangers." Strangers come in all forms, and while most mean no harm, some fit the nightmare stories parents use to scare their children. But what if the greatest threat to your child comes not from outsiders, but from those closest to you, your own sister and mother, and you personally placed your most precious treasure? Today, we'll talk about a case so shocking that it will make you want to hold your loved ones tighter. Young Aaron Cody Stepp lived with his family for only 3 short years, though there's a chance something happened to him long before police ever got involved. His poor mother experienced the bliss of motherhood for even less time. But let's start from the beginning. Cody's mother, Robin Stepp, had a rough life, and when Cody was just about 4 months old, he went to live with his aunt, Mickey Stepp, and his grandmother, Janice Stiles, in Columbus, Ohio. At first, he stayed with them simply because someone needed to take care of him, and there was no formal custody arrangement yet. But by December 1996, Mickey was appointed Cody's temporary guardian due to problems in Robin's life. That year, Robin faced 2 unrelated theft charges, which resulted in a 17-month prison sentence. And sadly, during those 17 months she was behind bars, something went terribly wrong. On March 11, 1997, shortly after 7 p.m., Mickey and Janice called 911. The women reported that Cody had vanished from a neighbor's backyard and that they couldn't find him anywhere. Since it was March, still cold and already dark, they wanted the search to begin immediately. But when police arrived, the entire story, from start to finish, seemed more than a little suspicious. Officers asked Mickey and Janice how exactly the boy had disappeared and what had happened, but the 2 women gave contradictory accounts. Mickey, Janice, and Cody lived at 214 Hossack Street. That evening, the 3 went to visit neighbors just a few doors down at 220. Cody ran straight to the yard to play. Around 7 p.m., Mickey decided to walk to a nearby store to buy chips, and when she returned, Cody was gone, even though his grandmother was supposed to be watching him. But when officers spoke to Janice, her version was the opposite. She thought Cody had gone to the store with Mickey. A few minutes after her daughter left, she too said goodbye to the neighbors and went home, leaving Cody, apparently alone, in the neighbor's backyard with no one supervising him. The story was strange, but police could have chalked it up to miscommunication. Either way, they needed to search quickly, so they asked what Cody was wearing. It turned out he'd been dressed very lightly despite the temperature being 28 degrees Fahrenheit, -2 degrees Celsius. He had been outside playing most of the day, and it was hard to believe a 3-year-old had spent hours in freezing weather without a coat. But when officers stepped inside the women's house, things got even stranger. There was no sign of a child living there. Not just no Cody, but no clothing, no toys, no photographs, not even a bed for him. Hoping to find witnesses, detectives spoke to neighbors to see if anyone had seen Cody leave with a stranger. They interviewed everyone nearby, but no one could remember seeing the boy, not only that day, but for the past 6 months to a year. Normally, this might not be suspicious. People are busy, work long hours, and don't always notice everything. But according to the police report, even the very neighbors Mickey and Janice visited that evening said they hadn't seen Cody in months. Investigators then spoke with other family members, only to hear the same thing. No one had seen Cody in a year. That left detectives with one chilling conclusion. Cody had likely vanished long before the 2 women claimed he went missing. It's worth noting that the timing of Cody's disappearance was suspicious in itself. His mother, Robin, was scheduled to be released from prison the very next day. Naturally, the first thing she would have done was go straight to her mother's house to see her son, and then suddenly, just 1 day before she was to return home, the child, whom no one had seen for at least several months, vanished under highly questionable circumstances. When police spoke with Robin, they learned that the last time she had seen Cody was December 18, 1995. She claimed that her sister and mother wouldn't let her speak to her son during phone calls from prison. Robin assumed this was either to punish her for being incarcerated or to spare the boy any additional emotional distress. Extensive searches turned up nothing. Investigators couldn't find a single clue as to what had happened to the little boy. The area where Cody supposedly disappeared was surrounded by shops, offices, and churches. If he had wandered far from the house, someone would almost certainly have noticed a 3-year-old walking alone and called the police. Officers considered the possibility that someone had taken Cody from the neighbor's yard where he'd been playing. But this theory was hard to pursue given all the strange circumstances surrounding his life in the months leading up to that day. Then, as news of Cody's disappearance spread, family friends began contacting police, confirming that they too had noticed the boy had been missing for a long time. Shortly after her son's disappearance, Robin accused her sister and mother of taking Cody to West Virginia, where the family still had relatives and friends, right after she began serving her prison sentence. Although Mickey had been caring for Cody since he was 4 months old, she wasn't receiving any child care assistance because she wasn't his legal guardian at the time. Once she became his official guardian, however, she was entitled to $279 a month in benefits. Robin claimed that her sister and mother wanted to pocket this money without actually caring for Cody. Both Mickey and Janice denied the accusation that they had allowed someone to take Cody from their home in exchange for an illegal $279 monthly benefit, calling the idea absurd. On July 12, 1997, 4 months after the child's disappearance, a witness reported allegedly seeing Cody in Bellefonte, Pennsylvania. The witness claimed to have spotted a boy matching his description between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. at DeFleury's restaurant on Benner Pike. The child was accompanied by 2 other children and 2 unidentified adult women. One was a middle-aged, fairly slender woman with medium-length dark hair. The second was a younger woman, described as possibly of Pacific Islander descent, with very short dark hair and glasses in a dark frame. Police were unable to identify either of the women or the children who were with them. In 1998, about 17 months after Cody's disappearance, Robin attempted to have her son officially declared dead. Normally, a person must be missing for 5 years before such a ruling can be made, unless there is strong evidence of a crime or an accident. In Cody's case, no such evidence existed. However, a judge's decision in her favor would have allowed Robin to demand a criminal investigation or file a wrongful death lawsuit. She claimed that her sister and mother were withholding information crucial to Cody's case. Robin was convinced that her son had vanished long before the day his disappearance was reported, and she held little hope that he would ever be found. During the proceedings, several family members testified that they had not seen the boy for months before he was reported missing. Robin's sister, Diane Carls, also took the stand, alleging that their mother had been abusive toward children in the past. An autopsy report from 1964 showed that Janice's 2-year-old daughter had died from bronchitis, but her body bore multiple burns in varying stages of healing. Janice denied ever harming any of her 10 children or grandchildren. Detective Jim McCoskey, who also testified, stated that the case had been closed without charges. The most shocking claim in court was the suggestion that Mickey had attempted to pass off another child as Cody, indirectly supporting the idea that the boy had been missing far longer than reported and that the women were trying to hide it. When children are placed under temporary care with relatives, child welfare agencies continue monitoring their well-being. This can involve home visits from social workers or proof that the child is attending school or receiving medical care such as vaccinations. It was this oversight system that Mickey allegedly exploited. A nurse named Clara Sellers from a Columbus medical center recalled that in February 1997, a month before Cody was reported missing, Mickey brought in a young boy for an appointment. That visit could have confirmed that Cody was alive and well at the time. But Clara believed the child was not Cody. She remembered giving the boy 3 different vaccinations, but later encountered another child who looked strikingly similar to the one she'd been told was Cody. Only this time, he was with another woman. Clara stated she was 75–80% certain that she had vaccinated the wrong boy. She claimed Mickey had brought someone else's son to pose as her nephew in order to provide authorities with proof that Cody was fine. Investigators eventually identified the boy they believed had been substituted for Cody, Kelly Robert Hunt, the son of Rebecca Hunt, a close friend of Mickey Stepp. Rebecca admitted that her son had stayed overnight with Mickey around the time the vaccinations were given, but denied ever allowing Mickey to take him to a doctor. Police officers who testified in court also stated that they believed a crime had been committed, but they had found no evidence to prove their theory. Despite all the witness statements, the judge refused to declare Cody legally dead. Robin's attorneys could not prove that her son had ever been in danger, and it remained possible that he was alive but had no memory of his biological family since he was only 3 years old when he disappeared. In the years following Cody's disappearance, numerous interrogations, polygraph tests, and excavation searches were conducted, but not a single trace of the boy was ever found. No one was ever charged in connection with his disappearance. Mickey attempted to take a polygraph test twice and failed both times. Janice flatly refused to take one at all. Detective Jim McCoskey later stated that both women soon stopped cooperating with law enforcement, and for years neither of them ever contacted police to ask about the progress of the investigation. In 2004, Mickey died of natural causes at the age of 31. Until her final breath, she maintained her innocence in her nephew's disappearance. Not long afterward, Janice also passed away. McCoskey still answers calls from concerned citizens who claim to have spotted an older Cody, but none of these leads have ever panned out. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children released an age-progressed image showing what Cody might have looked like at 22. They also published a heartfelt video plea from Robin to her son. Cody, if you're watching this, please contact the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Call home. They'll give you my number. I just want you to know that I've never stopped looking for you. I love you so much. I look forward to the day I can see you again. I believe that someday we will be together. I love you very much, just like your Aunt Pam and your sister Carmen. Please call us. Mommy loves you so much. In 2016, Robin reaffirmed her belief that her mother and sister were somehow involved in what happened to Cody. But with both women gone, she was left with even more unanswered questions. Cody's family says that although the extensive searches over the years have yielded no results, they have never given up hope. There's no sense of closure, and there never will be until we see him, said Cody's aunt and family friend, Pamela Taylor. We hope he's still alive somewhere in this world.